Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're covering one of the most unusual political stories in recent American history. President Donald Trump has transformed the White House South Lawn into the site of a major UFC event, drawing national attention, political criticism, and intense public debate. The event, known as UFC Freedom 250, is being held as part of celebrations connected to America's upcoming 250th anniversary and President Trump's 80th birthday. According to Reuters and the Associated Press, the event features multiple UFC fights, thousands of invited guests, and a specially constructed arena built on White House grounds. Now supporters say the event is a uniquely American celebration that combines sports, patriotism, and entertainment. Critics, however, argue that the White House should remain focused on governing rather than hosting major sporting spectacles. That disagreement is now playing out across Washington and across the country. According to a recent Reuters/Ipsos poll, only 16% of Americans surveyed said it was appropriate to host a UFC-style cage fighting event at the White House. 46% said it was inappropriate, while the remaining respondents either had no opinion or were unsure. Even among Republican voters, support was mixed. The event itself is unlike anything previously held at the White House. Reuters reports that approximately 4,000 invited guests are attending, including military personnel, political donors, administration officials, athletes, and celebrities. The centerpiece is a massive UFC arena built directly on the South Lawn. The White House and UFC organizers describe the event as a celebration of American culture and athletic competition. President Trump has maintained a close relationship with UFC leadership for many years, particularly UFC President Dana White. That relationship has become increasingly visible during Trump's political career. But while the event is generating headlines, it is also raising legal and ethical questions. Several critics challenge the use of federal property for a sporting event, arguing that the White House grounds are traditionally reserved for official government functions. Court challenges were filed in an attempt to block the event. However, federal courts declined to stop the event from moving forward. The controversy comes at a time when the administration is also facing significant international challenges. One of the biggest stories developing right now involves the ongoing tensions surrounding Iran. Recent reports indicate that the Trump administration has been pursuing diplomatic efforts aimed at reducing tensions and potentially reaching an agreement with Tehran. However, questions remain about what any final agreement would look like and whether all parties involved are willing to accept the same terms. Reports from international media indicate that Washington and Tehran have publicly presented different timelines and expectations regarding a potential agreement. Because of that uncertainty, analysts continue to watch developments closely. Foreign policy experts say any agreement would face significant scrutiny both in Washington and throughout the Middle East. Meanwhile, political observers note that the White House UFC event has become symbolic of a larger debate about Donald Trump's leadership style. Supporters argue that Trump has consistently challenged traditional political norms and connected with Americans who feel ignored by the political establishment. Critics argue that such events distract from important policy issues, including inflation, foreign affairs, border security, and national security concerns. That debate is likely to continue well beyond tonight's event. Political strategists also point out that Trump has long used high-profile public events to dominate news coverage and shape national conversations. Whether supporters love it or opponents dislike it, few would disagree that the White House UFC event has succeeded in attracting attention. And attention, in modern politics, often translates into influence. At the same time, polling suggests that many Americans remain skeptical about mixing entertainment and government symbolism. The Reuters/Ipsos survey highlights a significant gap between public enthusiasm for professional sports and public support for hosting those events at the White House itself. Looking ahead, analysts expect the event to remain a major topic across television news, social media, and political commentary throughout the coming week. Questions surrounding presidential traditions, the role of political spectacle, and America's image abroad are all likely to remain part of the conversation. For now, supporters see the event as a celebration of American culture. Critics see it as an unnecessary political show, and millions of Americans are watching to decide for themselves. What is clear is that UFC Freedom 250 has become much more than a sporting event. It has become a political story, a cultural story, and a national debate rolled into one. We'll continue monitoring developments surrounding the White House event, reactions from political leaders, and any updates regarding U.S.-Iran negotiations. If new verified information becomes available, we'll bring you the latest facts and analysis. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for more verified U.S. news coverage.